Humans are all over the planet, but how did we fill every corner of the Earth? That is what we will be discussing today. So first we need to define what we mean by humans, which means going back to our evolution. One common misconception is that humans evolved from chimpanzees. In actuality, humans and chimpanzees both evolved from a common ancestor that is now extinct. No precise date for the split can be given because science, but we know that after a lot of evolution, Homo erectus emerged in East Africa around 2 million years ago. Homo erectus were categorized by their long legs and shorter arms, as well as a larger brain. Homo erectus were up and kicking for around 1.5 million years, and they began to migrate throughout Africa, Asia, and possibly Europe. This theory is heavily debated. Homo erectus eventually petered out around 150,000 years ago, but another people were just coming onto the scene, Homo sapiens. We are Homo sapiens. We are categorized by our large brains, which require a lot of sustenance, but also gave us a leg up on developing technology and building societies. These would be the key factors that would allow us to dominate the planet. Vagueness is needed here, as there is no known exact timeline of our migration out of Africa. By about 130,000 years ago, Homo sapiens had populated most of Africa, as well as occasional ventures outside the continent to modern countries like Israel and possibly Greece. A new wave beginning 130,000 years ago saw Homo sapiens populate the Levant, modern-day Israel, Palestine, and Lebanon, the Arabian Peninsula, Europe, and according to some theories, India, China, and possibly even the Americas. Two main routes are commonly accepted, a northern one overland from modern-day Egypt, and a southern one crossing over the Red Sea. For this Red Sea crossing, it is important to note that the sea level was much lower, allowing an easier crossing. By about 80,000 years ago, Homo sapiens appear to have receded back into Africa. Many theories exist about this event, such as assimilation by other human species, or a supervolcano eruption. 75,000 years ago, we were ready to try again. A small group arrived on the coast of modern-day Yemen. Over the next 20,000 years, Homo sapiens populated the Arabian Peninsula, Persia, modern-day Iran, and the southern Asian coast. While spreading, we occasionally interbred with other human species, such as the Neanderthals in Europe and the Denisovans in Asia. This was probably rare, though, and more often encounters between these groups ended in violence. Around 50,000 years ago, Homo sapiens arrived in Australia. This was a major event, as this was the first land unexplored by any other human species. Immediately after arriving, we began causing one of the worst ecological disasters in history by wiping out 23 out of 24 of Australia's heavy animals, leaving only the kangaroo. Like the crossing of the Red Sea, the journey to Australia was aided by low sea levels, but some straits were still 90 kilometers wide, requiring at least some boating skills. Homo sapiens seemed very content with staying on the coast of South Asia for a while, not venturing far inland until around 50,000 years ago. Populations began to venture into China around 45,000 years ago and steadily spread north. Back in the Middle East, some groups from modern-day Iran and Turkey were venturing into Europe permanently, around 43,000 years ago. They began quickly driving out the Neanderthals. Around 25,000 years ago, Homo sapiens crossed the Bering Strait into present-day Alaska via a land bridge, and after temperatures rose, were stranded in Alaska. Glaciers kept them in Alaska for a while, but they soon broke out into the rest of North America. This was followed by an even greater ecological disaster than what happened in Australia. 34 out of 47 of North America's large mammals went extinct following human arrival. South America lost 50 of its 60 large mammals. This is a clear pattern we can see with Homo sapiens and humans in general. Where we went, we brought death. The most famous victim of the Homo sapiens migration were the Neanderthals, and in the next episode, we will look more in depth at our long-lost cousins. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and consider subscribing. It would really help a lot. If you have spotted any errors or misinformation in this video, feel free to comment below.